I noticed in your testimony that you zeroed in on 2008 as a benchmark year to talk about revenues from oil and gas leasing when you were asked about that by the chair. But there was something a little bit different going on in 2008 that might explain that very high revenue spike, wasn't there? I mean, didn't the price of oil rise to $147 per barrel in 2008?
Yes, I thought you were probably going to center in on that figure, and that is true. But you have to realize that the Arctic area was open to leasing, and there were high bids by a number of oil companies in that area. So it was really the fact that the oil companies wanted to start drilling in the Arctic that opened it, not necessarily that there was a high oil price. That did change the moratorium on offshore drilling, of course.
But there's another fact that I think was omitted in your testimony too, and that is that we are producing more oil and gas from federal lands today in 2013 than we did in 2008. Isn't that true?
Gas has been going down and continually on federal lands, so I do not believe that's true.
Oil?
It turns out oil had its peak in 2010, and it has declined in 2011 and 2012.
But the oil produced today from federal lands is higher than the benchmark year you used for 2008, correct?
It might be. I'd have to check those statistics.
All right. We heard you testify about the expansive, what you view as expansive reserves, almost unlimited reserves of coal. What can you tell us about coal production costs in recent years? Where have they been trending?
Well, coal prices have been going up.
Specifically production costs.
Well, I know the delivered price of coal has been going up. If you take a look at
delivered cost going up about 7–8% a year.
But you have to realize that that includes the transportation costs, and oil prices have gone up, and the transportation prices have gone up.
Does it sound about right?
If you take a look at the Powder River Basin, I think coal there is still around $15 a ton, which isn't that much higher than it was a few years ago. So we're still getting very inexpensive coal at the mine mouth.
Coal goes by train, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And production costs, does it sound about right that they've been going up 8 to 10% per year on average?
I'd have to check that.
Mm-hmm. What about the profitability of extracting all of these reserves that you mentioned? Have you done any studies on the actual profitability, or are these just sort of hypothetical reserves that could be accessed?
No, reserves are by definition coal that you can get economically at today's prices.
So you have studied the economic recoverability of all the reserves that you mentioned?
I'm using EIA numbers, and 261 billion short tons of coal are economic today. Those are our reserves.
All right. Thank you. I'll yield the balance of my time.